Fine cocoa stakeholders across the Caribbean met in Trinidad for 2 days to discuss innovations that will re-energize the cocoa industry and provide a viable diversification option not only for Trinidad and Tobago but the wider Caribbean. The first International Fine Cocoa Innovation Center Conference and a Symposium was held at the Ortinola Great House in Maracas Valley under the theme Seeding Innovations Along the Cocoa Value Chain. Cozier Phillip files this report.
Cocoa production was once the driving force of the local economy. In the 1930s, Trinidad and Tobago was the third largest producer of quality cocoa worldwide. However, the growth of the energy sector in the 1970s and 1980s was a major blow to cocoa as agricultural labor migrated to the oil belt. Principal of the University of the West Indies, Professor Clement Sankat, notes that cocoa production continues to decline. And unless the industry is re-engineered, it will only be of sentimental value to the agricultural sector.
Unless we can get our cocoa production up, and I don't have the answers, but some of you will recall a couple of years I said we have to begin by re-engineering the fields. And unless you do that, you are spinning top in mud, as we say in Trinidad. You're not going to get young people interested in cocoa.
Professor Sankat is also calling for support for the Cocoa Research Center of the University of the West Indies. He says while the CRC is funded by the state, it cannot meet its financial obligations unless it's also funded by the industry. The Cocoa Research Center has one of only 2 cocoa gene banks in the world, and there is a need to preserve it.
The Cocoa Research Center of the UWI has the finest collection of cocoa in the world, the International Gene Bank. It is something to be treasured for want of a better word, as a heritage of the world. And we cannot allow this global treasure to in any way be affected.
The work of the Cocoa Research Center is being assisted through funding from the European Union. Catherine Renner, EU representative, believes the Caribbean region holds great potential to become a major player in the international fine cocoa and chocolate trade.
Some of the finest cocoa in the world is grown right here in Trinidad and Tobago, and it's unfortunate that this country has not been able to truly capitalize on this advantage. Indeed, the country's share of trade in cocoa beans on the world market is marginal at best.
The first International Fine Cocoa Innovation Center Conference and Symposium concludes on Tuesday. Cozier Phillip, C News.
This Good News feature is brought to you by the Beacon Insurance Company Limited.